Hi everyone, welcome to Physionic SNP video. This is kind of an off-the-cuff style video. I was asked a question about collagen, consumption of hydrolyzed collagen, and if that might have a detrimental impact in terms of the endogenous synthesis of collagen, meaning that do our cells stop producing their own collagen when we consume or supplement with collagen? And my initial reaction was no. And that's how I ended up replying to this individual, TL, if you're out there, if you're listening to this. It was a great question. But I didn't have any actual data to support that. So it was simply speculation. Of course, I mentioned it as such. I mentioned that this was only speculative on my part. However, then I decided to look a little bit into the data, look a little bit into the literature, and I did find a paper that investigated it in relative means. So essentially looking at collagen, looking at the addition or the supplementation of collagen, and looking at the production of collagen from collagen-producing cells. But they weren't specifically looking at that question, but of course it answers the question. So this study is an industry-funded study, so full disclaimer there. However, I'm going to explain to you why we can take the results from this study and apply it to answer the question that I just asked. So let's go into a little bit of this study. I'm not going to go over all the details, but like I said, it's an industry-funded study, but it is published in, so on the back end, it's published in a highly reputable journal, Scientific Reports. So it had to go through the peer review process with peer reviewers that were independent of the study. So they had no idea, they weren't paid in any way, they were randomly selected, so the company didn't even know who the reviewers were, and the authors didn't know who the reviewers were, and they reviewed this paper. Now beyond that, there are other reasons why we can trust this study that I will go into. So what did they do? They essentially just looked at cells that produce collagen, so looking specifically at fibroblasts, and you may be aware of those based off of my previous video. I literally just released a piece of content a couple days ago describing how fibroblasts release collagen and produce collagen for the skin, things of that nature, so check that out if you're interested. And they plated these cells, and then they added either collagen, or they added what this particular industry, this particular company produces. So they have their own collagen matrix that is made up of collagen plus a bunch of other ingredients. And they have two different products. So the first one is called the active product, and then there's another one called the forte product. And what's interesting is that they find better results with the active product, which is the cheaper product. So that also lends a little bit more support towards the idea that this study was not in any way skewed by the funding that came from this particular company. You would think that they would want to skew it towards the product that is, well, more expensive, so people will end up buying that more expensive product. But I digress. We don't even need to look at the research that specifically used those products. We can look at, because they had a separate condition where they compared it to collagen alone, and that's really what we're interested in. So we can completely get rid of these products. I'm not even going to mention the company's name because I don't want people thinking that I somehow got paid by this company, which would be rather laughable. But regardless, so they added collagen to these cells, and then they wanted to know, so this is a supplementary exogenous addition of collagen, hydrolyzed collagen, and they wanted to then measure the production of collagen from these cells. And you can see that the media condition, which is and I'm going to have these graphics up, and I'll also have the paper linked for you to look at, but the media condition was kind of their clamp condition, their control condition. So that, for all the graphs, is set at 100%. And then anything that changes from that is based off of that 100%. And with collagen, you don't see a decrease. You certainly don't see an increase in collagen synthesis with the addition of collagen, but you definitely don't see a decrease. So right there, that gives us a lot of information that collagen, exogenous collagen, at least in an in vitro system, which means that cells are plated, so you're directly looking at the cells themselves, those did not seem to have, or collagen did not decrease collagen synthesis. So we've essentially debunked that idea based off of this paper. Taking it a little bit further, however, they also looked at the back end, so looking at MMPs. Again, if you've checked out that piece of content that I looked at, talked about collagen and skin aging and things of that nature, you'll know what MMPs are. MMPs are metalloproteinases, and those actually degrade collagen. And those were actually decreased with the addition of collagen. So although collagen addition to these cells in supplementation form did not necessarily increase their synthesis of collagen, it did decrease their degradation of collagen from the surrounding matrix. So some positive results there. That's essentially it. As a supplement, just in general, hydrolyzed collagen is what they used, and it seems that it's perfectly effective, and it also is not going to decrease your collagen synthesis, your endogenous normal collagen synthesis. So it's perfectly fine to consume. And that's actually based off of other data as well that I will go into in the future and have already gone into in the past. Okay, good question. And I hope that was informative for people. And if you want to debate on if we can actually use this study, I'd be happy to discuss it. With that said, I wish you a wonderful day and have a good one. See ya.